Okay. Assalamu alaikum to all, and good afternoon, everyone. First of all of you who join this session, and as you know, this will be our third session. You already familiarize. Every Sunday, we are bringing very highly professional guys to interact with you. So last time you listened Mr. Rahmat, and before that you have listened Mr. Razak, and today we have Mr. Ubaid with us. So Mr. Ubaid, Mr. Ubaid he is a program manager at Lucas Enterprise Solution. He has experience of 15 years, okay, in finance and cash flow management. He is a PSF Professional Solidity Forum core team member, and he is a former SIO member of SIO, and his qualification is BA in finance, and he's very passionate about career guidance, job guidance, and mentorship. So he has a he run many independent program, like a lot of social activities, especially in education, and he also conduct career guidance programs. And last time his achievement was like he placed like he trained around some student some graduates, and out of those graduate so a huge contribution. And I would like to thanks a lot Mr. Ubaid for giving us time. So Mr. Ubaid, over to you.
Thank you, Brother Nadeem. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. So, you all are able to view my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it visible, or you want me to zoom in, or is it visible? Everyone
Yes,
is
sir,
able to see
visible.
it? Okay. Yeah.
It's visible, Ubaid.
And yeah. So, Nadeem, we will keep everyone unmute, but I want people to mute by themselves. If they have any questions in between, they can ask questions. Okay. Uh, but let's not have any disturbance in the session when we interact. Okay. So you should handle uh, the mute button
Yes,
very
sir.
carefully because we are
We
not
are
host. Yeah.
hearing you.
Okay. Okay. All right. So thank you, Nadeem, for introducing me. I will quickly start the session. I have few questions before we proceed with pre-interview preparation. Uh, any one of you recently faced any interview recently in the last 6 to 8 months? If you have faced the interview, just let me know the questions being asked in the interview and what was the outcome of the interview quickly, just in 2 minutes. You can put it in chat box, or if you want, you can also just say it right now.
Sorry to disturb.
Yeah, just a moment. But I think I have to no need. My screen is. I mean, you guys are able to view my screen, right? I have just activated.
It's visible.
Yeah. All right. So anyone attended the interview?
Yesterday I faced an interview, a telephonic interview.
Ma'am, your voice is a little bit, it's low. Can you be a little bit louder, please?
Hello, is it audible?
It's better, quite better. Please go ahead.
My name is Tahir Tayyab Razvi. Yesterday I faced an interview, telephonic interview. In that they asked me what about my previous experience and where I'm doing, what I'm doing, and what is your present expectation. But the interview is about I'm doing the technical as a technical guy. I'm looking in the technical side, but yesterday what they have asked about the non-technical aspect. So in that way, they also need to become not less full member of a team. What is the period of that? So yesterday it happened somewhere around 3:34 p.m. somewhere around. So in a simple 3 to 4
Okay.
questions. So they haven't given any output. Just I'm waiting for that.
All right. So interview happened just yesterday, so they might take some time to respond to you. All right. Can you just repeat those questions? What were the questions you said?
Question was, what was your background? What is your experience, total experience? And what is your technical side? What is your non-technical side? What language do you know? And how many members in your team? And
So
how many
basically,
members?
they asked about your previous experience, right?
Yes,
Previous experience and your education background,
yes,
right?
education background. And what is my current CTC? What you have done last month? What is your expectation?
Okay. Okay. Good.
Thank
So outcome is not yet come. So we hope for the best. Anyone else want to say something on the recent interview? So normally, if you are experienced, a fresher, you don't have anything to speak, on your experience. So mostly the questions revolve around your understanding skills, your stability, and your achievements, and your listening skills, your communication skills, your attitude and behavior. So all these questions in case of freshers interview. But if you are experienced, mostly maximum questions being asked in the interviews more related to your previous experience, right? So that's the reason why you have all these questions. What was your I mean, how was your experience in your previous company or in your existing company? What was your role? What was your job profile? uh, what's your salary and what's your expectations? So that's more about your current job. So all right, so we'll discuss that. Yeah, why should I hire you? Okay. People want to post more questions, please go ahead. We'll keep checking that. Okay, so let's start. So basically, what is pre-interview preparation? If you see that quote from Abraham Lincoln on my screen, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I will spend the first four sharpening the axe. So basically, that is what pre-interview preparation is, right? So mostly, what we find is people usually don't do their homework before attending the interview, right? You get an interview call or you get an email that you have an interview schedule for so and so date, so and so time. Okay, most of the people, they have the tendency that they don't do proper homework before going to the interview, and so they face rejections basically. So rejections mostly on the basis of pre-interview preparation, whether you have done it or not. So mostly rejections come because of your non-performance in the interview, because you have not prepared for it. Okay, so I will just let you know about the HR mentality. What HR mentality is basically. So what do you think when you go for the interview? Usually we have this tendency in the mind that this HR will reject me, right? You go to the interview with this thought process that 70% chances that I get rejected, and if you are optimistic, then you say that 30% I may get selected, right? That's the normal tendency, right? But it's the other way around. The HR mindset does not work like that. They want to select you. The reason why is because they have a target to achieve. They have a lot of pressure from the management, from the operations team. They have openings for 25 people, 50 people, 100 people in the bulk hiring, right? Even if it's not a bulk hiring, They want to hire people as soon as possible because the project is pending over there. They have a project and they need people to run that project. Okay, so they want to hire people as soon as possible because the more delay they do, the more loss it is for the organization, right? So they have a pressure to hire people. So HR does not actually want to reject you, they want to select you. And you guys might have noticed in the interview, if you have faced couple of interviews, HR actually tries to help you out while you give the interview, whether it is communication session, whether it is a one-on-one question answer session, whether it is a word sand session. Word sand, basically in the word sand session they check your listening skills and your speaking skills. So in 3-4 rounds of the interview, uh, there is an aptitude test, something like that. uh, so in these 3-4 rounds you will notice that HR actually tries to help you to get through those rounds, to get selected in those rounds. So this is the HR mentality. What is our mentality? This HR will reject me. No, they have a pressure. They have a project to. They want someone to come and work on that project, right? They have a target to achieve, and at the same time, they also get incentives. The HR also gets incentives on selection of candidates, right? So you are actually making money for them, right? You're not a candidate for them. You are actually, you know, an incentive for them. You get selected, they get paid off, right? They achieve their target. So always have this thing in mind that HR does not take interview to reject you. They always want to select you, right? And they are pretty much, serious to have some good candidates uh, in their board or in the organization. The reason why we get rejected is only because we don't do our pre-interview preparation. First thing. Second thing, we go with the thought process in the interview that maximum, or let's say 70%, we might face rejection. Okay, but that's actually not the uh, reality. Reality is quite different. So that, just have this thing in mind when you go for the interview. So what do you do basically, when you go for the interview, or when you have an interview schedule? Do you see the first thing over here on my screen? Read and understand the job description. Whenever you get an interview call or an email, just try to get the job description from the HR. Ma'am, can I please have a job description? Okay, they will send you the job description, or they will tell it to you over the phone, right? 4 or 5 points about the job. What is the job profile? So now you have the job description with you. Okay, it is very important that you should know what is the profile they are hiring for. That's first thing, that is listed in the job description. Second thing, is this profile suits you, whether it is relevant to your CV, whether it is relevant to your experience or your expertise. That's important, because uh, if you're going if you're appearing for an interview which is not related to your background or your experience or your expertise, then you're wasting your time. They will just conduct your interview, and they might say that your profile does not match your requirement, so you're rejected. So why do you want to actually waste your time by appearing for an interview that does not suit you, or that does not suit your requirement, or you do not suit company's requirement? All right. So it is very important that you go where it is, where you have the importance, or where people actually trying to hire someone with your expertise, right? So it is very important to read and understand the job description. There may be cases where you get an interview opportunity which is not related to your job profile or your education background or what you're looking for, but you go ahead and attend the interview, and there are chances that you also get selected if you want to give it a chance, give it a shot. uh, it's happening nowadays, because people don't have jobs in their own domain. They try to go and check the jobs, or try to face interviews somewhere in other domains as well, which is not relevant to your background, but they get selected. So that's okay, but most of the times, please try to understand what is job description, whether they are hiring people like you, whether you are experienced, whether they are hiring experienced candidates or they are hiring freshers. Sometimes it happens that The organization is looking for experienced candidates, and you are a fresher, and you just go there, you get rejected. That's waste of time. Sometimes they want to hire freshers, and you have experience of 2 3 years, 5 years. They quickly turn around and they say that, no, we are not hiring experienced candidates right now. We only have vacancies for the freshers. So always check these things. Okay, what are they hiring for? What is the background? What is the job description? Whether it suits you or not. Take all this information before you appear for the interview. That will save your time as well as the organization's time. First thing. Okay. Next. Okay, now you understand the job description. This job also suits you. You want to appear for the interview, right? And you also have an interview invite, right? So pre-interview preparation. What is the second step in pre-interview preparation? Just go to the company's website. For example, let's say you are applying for Dell, right? You get an interview opportunity from Dell. Go to the website, dell.com, all right? And try to understand, what Dell actually does. Be it any company, right? Just go to their website and try to check what they usually do, what kind of business they are engaged in, and what kind of products they sell, who is their CEO, what is their share value. All this basic information about the organization you will get on their website, just on the front page of their website, right? How many employees they have, and who are their competitors. Basic information. Even if you can just find out 5 6 points about the organization you're appearing for the interview, that is more than enough, right? Go to them. That's the second thing that you do in your pre-interview preparation. Go to their website and understand their business and their product and what kind of value they offer. Then you also want to know the company's culture, right? About company's culture. Obviously, on the company's website, you will not find about the company's culture, but there's a website called glassdoor.com. If you want to write it down, just write it down, glassdoor.com. You go to this website, glassdoor.com, and just type over there the name of the company, right? If you want to check the work culture of the company, just write Dell over there. You will get employee feedback. Okay, employees, the existing employees, they talk about the company's culture, what kind of growth this company offers, and a lot of other things about the organization, right? So by reviewing those comments, so these are the comments from the existing employees as well as the employees who have left the company. So you will get the mixed comments. There could be few employees who've already left the organization, and they will give their feedback could be positive or negative. Even for the existing employees, they give the feedback about the work culture and the company culture. That again, feedback can be, the comments can be mixed comments, negative comments and positive comments. But by looking at these comments, you get an idea what kind of culture this company provides. So you have a better idea about the company's work culture, because it's not about only salary or money. Take a job. It is also the work culture, because you are spending like 9 to 10 hours in an organization, and whenever we join any organization, we join with the long term perspective. Okay, I want to work in this organization for 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, right? Nobody joins any company to just go and leave the company in 5 6 months. So when you want to spend so much time with the organization, you really want to see how their work culture is, right? How the company is. And then in the same website, glassdoor.com, you can also see the interview questions. Uh, it's a good example. Whenever you appear for the exam, if there is a paper leak, right? Uh, you just check that exam paper, the leaked exam paper, and you are 100% sure that, okay, so this is the leaked exam paper, and, I can score maximum marks if I just practice on this exam. So in the same in the same way, every interview is leaked. Every interview is leaked. If you do your pre-interview preparation properly, if you visit these websites and check, you will get all the information about what kind of questions being asked in every organization, in every company, in the interviews, right? So you go to this website. Suppose you are appearing for a company like Tech Mahindra. Okay, you go to glassdoor.com, just type interview questions for tech support in Tech Mahindra. Okay, So you will see comments being posted by people who have already appeared for the interview in Tech Mahindra, and they will make comments in the comment section. I have appeared for Tech Mahindra last month, or 15 days back. These are the questions being asked in the interview. This is what I have answered. They will also post whether they got rejected or selected. They share their interview experience on the website glassdoor.com, right? So two things you get over here. One, about the work culture. Second, interview questions. So if you are able to grab 10 to 15 interview questions from this list, I'm sure that if you appear for the interview, you can make the most of it. You can get similar questions in the interview and you should be able to answer it. So now you have three things in your hand. One, you visited the company's website and you know what this company is for, what kind of business they do. Second, you know the work culture. Third, you also know what kind of questions being asked in this organization, right? Uh, Now take those questions and go to YouTube, right? And type those questions in the YouTube. For example, uh, there's a technical question. Let's say there's a general question. How do you handle an irate customer, right? You go and type that question on YouTube, you will get the answer to multiple answers to this question, right? Pick up a very good answer that you like the most and just prepare on it. Same thing like in case of technical questions, how do you install drivers in your printer? How do you install drivers in your printer, right? That's the question. Go to YouTube, type that question, you'll get the answer with the practical demonstration. You can just write it down. So you have the paper leak, you have the interview questions leaked, right, from Glassdoor. You take those questions, you put on Google, you put on YouTube, you get the answers on that. Or you can also sit with someone who is technically sound and take these answers. So now you have 4 or 5 things in your hand. You know about the company's business, you know about the job description, you know about company's culture. At the same time, you also know about the interviews questions and the answers for it, right? Interview hygiene, just look at the screen. This is very normal, but people miss on this one most of the time, so I just want to show you this slide as well. These are very common things, but you have to make sure that you maintain the interview hygiene when you go for the interview. What are the hygienes? Prepare your outfit, iron, wash, bath, right? uh, I have noticed a lot of candidates, they just go to interview, without doing this pre-interview. I mean, meeting this interview hygiene uh, in terms of their clothes and, their hairstyle and all those things. So just make sure that you maintain interview hygiene as well. Keep 2 copies of your CV handy. Get a good night's sleep. Don't prepare for the interview in the night, right? 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, just sleep out. Okay. Prepare in the morning times, get fresh, get freshen up, and take a good sleep in the night. When you appear for the interview, you should look fit and fine. That also gives a lot of good impact. Imagine that you're sitting in front of the HR and your eyes are red and you don't have a proper you have not combed your hair properly. You have a untidy hair, your clothes are not ironed. uh, no matter how good you are in the interview, there are high chances that HR might reject you because of your body language. All right. So get a good night's sleep. Plan your route. Normally, what happens, we don't plan a route and we get late for the interview. That is not a good sign. Always try to plan your route in advance and try to reach the interview destination just 10 minutes, 5 minutes before the interview time. That also gives a very positive impression. Don't go late to the interview. Have a light breakfast and be on time. Okay, so this is basic interview hygiene. I know I'm sure that you all are aware of this, but just try to maintain that. That has a very good impact. That also shows your confidence. Minimum span of attention disorder. These are the first 3 minutes of your interview. These are the first 3 minutes of your interview. This these 3 minutes are the make or break of your interview. It is very important. As we say, right, the first impression is the best impression, right? So these 3 minutes are very, very, very important in your interview. This is called minimum span of attention disorder, right? HR might try to test your patience. HR might try to test your understanding skills, your communication skills, and they try to get an idea about you just in the first 3 minutes. So your first 3 minutes of the interview, it's very important. You have to show a lot of confidence in the first 3 minutes. What is this? Basically, this is the first question. Tell me about yourself. Every interviewer asks this question, right? Tell me about yourself. Can you just walk me through your CV, right? These are the questions. That's how the interview starts. Okay. So what do you say? What is your personal introduction? What is your personal introduction, basically? You don't have to think a lot. Your CV, your resume is your personal introduction. So what do you have in your resume? First, your name, then your career objective, right? And after that, if you are experienced, then you put your experience over there. You can talk on your experience. If you're not experienced, you're a fresher, then your education background. After that, what is there on your CV? Your hobbies, your achievements, your technical skills, and then your family background. So this is your personal introduction, right? So whenever somebody is asking you to introduce yourself, you just have to walk them through your CV. As simple as that. Don't make it complicated. There are scenarios where HRs might ask you, can you tell me something which is not there in your CV? Can you tell me something which is not there in your CV? Now you're confused what to talk, right? So always try to prepare something for that, right? For example, if you are associated with any NGO, talk about the NGO, because I'm sure that you will not put that on your CV. If you have not put it on your CV, just talk about what kind of work you do in the NGO. Or if you're a social worker, if you do a lot of social work, go ahead and talk about that. Or something that is not mentioned in your resume. You just write it down somewhere, and whenever you face this question, tell me something which is not there in your resume, talk about that, right? You have to prepare for that, because this question might arise mostly in the experience profiles. Interview for the experienced candidates, HR sometimes ask these questions. Tell me something which is not there in your resume. The freshers might also face this question, but you have to be prepared for that, right? Talk something which is not on your resume. You will have a lot of points. Just do a homework and keep something ready for that question. Next question. You are a fresher, why should we hire you? You are a fresher, why should we hire you? What do you answer to this question? This is for the freshers. So you can say that, yes, ma'am, I'm a fresher, but everyone will have to start from somewhere. I have gone through the job description, and I have also, gone through the company's website. I am really passionate about this role. If you can give me an opportunity under the leadership of your organization, I will try to prove myself, or I will try to add value to the organization. I'm a fresher, but everyone will have to start from somewhere. So I want to start from here, because I really like the job description, the job profile. And I also want to, add value to this organization under your leadership, under the leadership of your organization, right? So make it very simple. Don't, complicate it. I was listening to one of the interviews. This HR asked, this is an experienced candidate. So why do you want to join this company? Is the question. This person says, because this organization is bigger than my existing organization. That's the reason I want to join. Then HR actually, this guy got caught up in this question. HR suddenly replies, so what if you get an offer from a bigger company than us in the future? Will you join? And this guy is like very nervous what to answer. But he quickly gave a right answer. He said that, ma'am, if you see my previous background, I have worked in my previous organization for 5 years. So I am not the one who frequently, changes the job. So I will stick to this role. I will stick to this company, even if I get a better offer. But HR actually, caught him on that answer. So try to make sure you don't create any kind of a comparison or negativity when you answer. Always be positive. Do not compare between companies. Do not give any political viewpoint, right? uh, do not talk anything negative. Even there is something negative about your previous company, don't talk about negative. Because HR get an idea, HR get an impression with that, this guy is talking negative about his existing company. There might be chances that he might also talk negative about our company when he joins. So no negativity in the interview, no political viewpoint. You don't have to put your political opinion in the interview. Even if being asked, don't give your political, I support some party, I support someone. Don't give your political opinion as well. You versus the hiring manager. That's you, the small one, and the big one is the hiring manager. So these questions that I just showed you, tell me about yourself, why should we hire you? This is being asked by the HR, right? When you face the HR first. If you get selected in this interview round, the next would be your hiring manager, the manager that you will work with if you get a job. He is the hiring manager. So the day of the interview, what you have to do, look confident, be an active listener than a speaker, try to present a solution for their business problems. This is basically for the experienced candidates, not for the freshers. The third one, try to present a solution. Stay composed and don't panic, relax, it's just a job interview. Let me explain you the first thing, look confident. Why is the nervousness? Basically, why do you get nervous for the interview? When you appear for the interview, you don't have to be nervous, because if you face rejection in this interview, you can appear for the next interview the next day, right? If you write an exam and you fail in the exam, you have to wait for 2 months or 4 months to give you a supplementary exam, right? But that's not the case for the interview. You get rejected today, you have interview tomorrow as well, right? I mean, you can appear for the interview tomorrow. There is no need to panic. There is no need to, lower down your confidence. Why actually people, lower down their confidence? There are two things. First thing, as I said in the beginning of my talk, that uh, when they when they don't actually understand the HR's mentality, when they don't actually talk about the, I mean, when they don't actually, understand the HR's mentality. HR's mentality is basically is to select you, not to reject you. Okay. Second thing is when they don't do the pre-interview preparation homework. What I just showed in my previous slides, like understanding the company, understanding the work culture, uh, understanding the job description, finding out some top 10 questions, and getting their answers. When you don't do this pre-interview preparation, you lose confidence. This is as simple as that. Trust me, if you do this pre-interview preparation and you appear for the interview, and let's say there are 50 candidates who appeared for the interview, you will be in the top 10. You will be in the top 10 with this basic pre-interview preparation, which is under your control. Whatever I showed you in the previous slides, nothing is out of your control. Everything is under your control. If you do this pre-interview preparation, 100% chances that you are in the top 10. So basically, that's the reason why people lose confidence. If you don't have knowledge about the interview, if you don't know anything about the job description, and you have a mentality that this HR will reject me, right? So that actually causes low confidence. Okay, avoid that. Be an active listener, then a speaker. This is very, very important. You have to be an active listener, then a speaker. Suppose you get a question from the HR and you know the answer, right? Even if you know the answer, do not stop the interviewer in between. Do not just, uh, stop him because you know the answer. Let him complete. Listen to him carefully. Okay. And then try to answer. And it does not look good if you keep asking the HR to repeat the question. One time, it's okay. You don't understand some question, you're not focusing, you ask him or her to repeat it. But if you, let's say in the 10 minutes of interview, if you ask the HR 2 or 3 times to repeat himself, then that gives a negative impression that you're not focusing or you don't have proper listening skills. Always to always, in the 10-15 minutes of the interview, try to make sure that you have 100% focus, listen to the question, understand it, and then answer. In case if you don't understand the question, there is no harm in asking to repeat, but don't repeat it number of times. Okay. Stay composed and don't panic. Yeah, you don't have to panic because this is just an interview. If you get rejected, then no problem. You have other interviews in place, right? So you can go for the next interview. That's not a problem at all. Why to fear? This is very important. Usually what happens when the HR asks you, do you have any questions for me? We think that the interview is over now because HR is asking me if I have any questions. That means the interview is over. No, that's a wrong judgment. Actually, the interview starts from here. Whenever the HR asks you if you have any questions for me, try to ask few questions. Because trust me, whatever the HR is asking you, they will forget because they're asking these questions to hundreds of candidates. So they will forget that. But whatever you ask them, they'll remember, okay, this candidate asked me these questions. And I'll also show you, these are 5 questions that you can ask to the HR, right? At the end of your interview. What are some of the skills apart from the job description to be successful in this role? If you want, you can take a snap of this. What are some of the skills apart from the job description to be successful in this role? So you're basically asking them that what kind of skills I need to possess in order to be successful in this role. So basically you're trying to show your interest, your passion, your seriousness about the job. This is what they basically want to see. In the freshers interview, basically, they don't expect a lot of technical knowledge, a lot of knowledge about the job because they know that you are a fresher. So what they usually look at is your passion, your interest, your seriousness, whether you have done your pre-interview preparation, whether you have done your homework or not, your stability, very important. If I hire this person, whether he will stick to the job, for long term, right? So your stability matters because they ask few questions that has connectivity, that has relevance with your stability. So with this question, you are actually showing that you are serious and you are interested in this job. Second question, what are some of the challenges in this role? What are some of the challenges in this role? So this also shows that you are interested in this job and you are quite passionate about this role, right? What is typically the career path for this role? This is very important. What is career path? It's a career growth basically. So that shows your stability. You are asking this question to the HR to know what is my career path. If I join this organization, how would I grow in this organization? So who asked this question? Candidate who wants to join for a long-term period, right? So what is typically the career path for this role? When you ask this question, HR actually gets an impression that you want to work in this company for a long time. You are looking for a long-term career in this organization. So you're asking this question to show your interest, your passion, at the same time, your stability. Now, the next 2 questions are more to do with your interview feedback. How do I compare with some of the other candidates you have interviewed for this role? Basically, you're asking this question to understand whether you have been selected or rejected, right? How do I compare with some of the other candidates you have interviewed for this role? HR might say, you are good. I have interviewed other candidates as well, but they could not answer properly. You gave me some very good answers. So you get an idea that, HR is happy with you and you might get selected in this round. What are the next steps in the interview process? This also, you're not directly asking whether I am selected or rejected. You're indirectly asking what are the next steps in the interview process. So basically HR might tell you, Next round will be, with the hiring manager, or somebody call you to discuss your salary or something. That way you will understand that, okay, uh, मेरी job पक्की है. I'm through. So the first three questions are to do with your passion, interest, your stability. By asking these questions, you are showing your passion, your interest, and your stability. Last two questions, you are taking the interview feedback, right? Always ask these questions. Do not just imagine that interview is done when HR asks you for the questions, right? Always ask these questions. Even if HR doesn't ask you, doesn't tell you to ask questions, just see if she has time, and you can post these questions to her. uh, and very important thing is, do not consider interview as an interrogation. Interview is not an interrogation. Interview is an interaction. It's a communication. It's a conversation, basically. What is interrogation? What happens in interrogation? There's a criminal and there is a police. Okay, police asks the question and the criminal has to answer. Interview is not that. It's not an interrogation. That's what we do in the interview, right? We think that only HR can ask questions. No. Only hiring manager can ask questions. No, you can also ask questions, right? Because interview is not an interrogation. Interview is a conversation. So always try to have an engagement with the HR. Always have a smile on your face. She asks you a question, you can also ask questions, right? That also shows your confidence. When you're asking the questions, it shows your confidence. But don't ask silly questions. Ask some good logical questions, right? What I have shown here. So always have a smile, and always try to make interview as a conversation, not an interrogation. Okay, you can always ask questions, you can interact with the HR. That shows your confidence. So basically, to summarize all these things, what is basically the interview process? Mostly the hiring manager and the HRs, they don't usually look at a lot of technical knowledge in your interview. Uh, Mostly what they look at is your interest, your passion, your seriousness, whether you have done your homework or not, and your stability, your behavior, your body language, your attitude. And I think all these things are pretty much under your control. You can control your body language, you can control your dressing, you can control your confidence. You can have your pre-interview preparation, you can do a lot of homework on your pre-interview preparation, right? And when you appear for the interview, you will be in the top 10 list if you go with this pre-interview preparation. uh, I'm sure maximum people don't do it, but if you do it, high chances. uh, so I will just stop here uh, by saying just one thing. uh, how to handle toxic employers. There are a lot of bad things that's happening in the market, right? You need a job, people will try to actually use you and try to get some money out of you, right? अभी जितना भी पैसा मार्केट में जितना भी पैसा कमाया जा रहा है, मार्केट में जितना भी पैसा अभी कमाया जा रहा है वो बेरोजगारों से कमाया जा रहा है. बिकॉज जो बेरोजगार जो होता है वो मजबूर होता है. अगर उसे किसी ने कह दिया कि यू पे मी मनी, आई विल गिव यू अ जॉब, he will just quickly go and pay. So don't be don't actually get into those things. Always try to identify who is the fraud and toxic employer. This is happening. Yesterday one candidate in the counseling, he told me that he paid some 5 lakh to one person for a job in Canada, and he just ran away with that money. A lot of things we get to hear in the one-on-one counseling. So always these are the points that you can easily identify the toxic employers. How it happens: they schedule you for an interview, but when you arrive, they were not expecting you, and everybody is confused. They schedule the interview, but when you go for the interview, they were not expecting you. That's one sign that it's a toxic employer. They reschedule interviews several times during the hiring process, giving lame excuses. They schedule the interview and they come back and they say that no, this manager is not available, this HR is not available, so we will reschedule the interview. They will reschedule the interview multiple times. That is also a sign that they are not interested in hiring. They are just wasting your time. You have one interview, it goes great. Then they go silent, set up no next steps. Call up suddenly after weeks saying, congrats, you are hired. एक ही interview हुआ आपका. There is no feedback. Okay. And then they go silent, and suddenly 1 month back, after 1 month, 2 months, they come and they say that congrats, you are selected, you are hired. So again, there's a question mark on that. During the interview process, you are asked rude questions. Example, what does your father do? Where do you live? These are some silly questions they ask. Okay, this is also kind of toxic employers. They ask you to submit personal information before the interview. Salary slip, certificate, originals. Never do this. Experience letters. Any good company, any good MNC, they will not ask any originals from you before giving the offer letters. They will ask only the Xerox copies of your documents, like your original certificates and your experience letters. You just have to show the originals by visiting the organization, and they take only the Xerox copies, the duplicate copies. They don't take the originals. So uh, if anyone any one is asking you for the original certificate, even before getting an offer letter, 100% sure that this is a fraud. All right. Recruitment fraud. Pay dollar, job is guaranteed. Pay me money, job is guaranteed. You guys might have noticed it, might have also faced it, right? You get an email or you get a call. You pay us this much amount, we'll get you a job. And sometimes there are institutions that they will also say that we have a placement guarantee. We will train you. You have to pay us 40,000, 50,000, 30,000. uh, we will train you, and will there's 100% placement guaranteed. And after the training, they'll not place you. They don't even uh, take you seriously. So this is also a kind of a recruitment fraud. Registration fees. No consultancy will ask you for the registration fees. If anybody is asking you for the registration fees, that's a recruitment fraud. You receive an email with the offer before the interview. Interview nahi hua, kuch nahi hua, you get an offer letter in the email. That is also a recruitment fraud. Request personal information, like your certificates and all that I have discussed before the interview or before the offer letter. After issuing you the offer, good companies will ask you all these documents. Okay, that too, either a soft copy or the Xerox copy. They won't ask you the originals, right? So anyone is requesting you for your personal document before the offer, don't give it. That's a fraud. Remember, you already got a job. You are in the job, finding a job. Some will, some will not. So what's next? You are the best motivation for yourself. You are the best motivation for yourself. Okay. No one can help you in this. Neither your father, neither your mother, and nor your elder brothers, because they can drop you till the interview location, but they cannot come and give interview on your behalf. You have to give the interview. So you are the best motivation for yourself. You have to do your pre-interview preparation. You have to keep your CV ready. You have to do all these exercises. You have to improve your communication skills. Whatever has to be done, it is you who is going to do it. You choose your own destiny. Do not depend on others. My father, he stays in UAE, so he will make my career. My uncle stays in Canada, he might make my career. My brother stays somewhere, he might make my career. Your uncle, your father, your brother, everyone, they chose their own destiny. You have to choose your own destiny. Do not rely on others. Choose your own destiny. Make a plan for yourself. Make a goal for yourself. Do hard work and achieve it. You choose your own destiny. No one else can plan your destiny. It's you who choose your destiny. So make a goal for you and hit the goal. Uh, Go ahead if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Obaid bhai. Guys, if you have any questions, please ask.
Yeah, we have 5 minutes. You can ask questions.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Uh,
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, I have one question, sir. If we have a fresher, sir, we want to make a CV, sir. It should be the normal, or it should be the, like a
Yeah,
technical field would be the CV, sir.
yeah. For freshers is a very normal CV, as I said. What is
Okay.
the basically the design of the CV for the fresher? First, you put a name there, your address, email address, and phone number, and then your career objective. You have to slightly change your career objective based on the job description. For example, if you're appearing for the technical support role, so just make that, just mention that in your career objective. Uh, my career objective is to plan and grow my career in tech support industry. So basically what you're trying to do, you're trying to relate your career objective with the job description. So for every job you're applying for, try to slightly change and match your uh, career objective with the job description. Okay, that's your
Okay,
career
sir.
objective. Yeah, and after that, if you're a fresher, then your education background, your name and address and email ID. After that, your career objective, then your education background. Then since you don't have experience, try to put a lot of achievements that you might have done in your college time. Okay, and put your hobbies. Always try to relate your hobbies with your job description again. For example, if you're applying for a tech support role, you can say that, in my free time I like to troubleshoot my system, I like to troubleshoot my devices, that's my hobby. So basically what you're trying to do, you're trying to connect your hobbies also with your job description, right? uh, and then
Okay,
basic
sir.
your basic family background. If you have done any certifications, you can put your certifications.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Sir, I have a question. Like, what should be the answer to the question? What are you expecting a salary in an interview?
Good question. uh, Normally, don't give out a figure whenever they ask you what is the salary that you're expecting. Don't give out a figure. What happens if you give it a figure, like, if you're a fresher, you probably say that, I'm expecting 15,000, 16,000, 18,000. If you're an experienced candidate, you will say that, I'm expecting 20% or 15% hike on my existing salary, right? Don't give out any percentage or figure. Usually you can say that, ma'am, uh, as per your company standard, whatever you offer me, I will see to it. If it is negotiable, I will negotiate. So whatever you pay as per the company standard. uh, you try to answer it in a different way, but try to understand one thing: never put out a figure. They want you to put out a figure. What happens if you give a figure, right? There are two drawbacks. One is, they might want to offer you more, but you might say less. There are chances that you might say more, they might reject you, uh, thinking that he has a uh, he has more expectations coming to salary. So this could be two drawbacks if you put out the if you show your amount or figure that you're expecting. So just try to answer this question in a tricky way. Whatever you pay in this particular role as per your company standard, ma'am, I am ready to accept it. Or you issue me the offer. I will see if it is good, I'll accept it. Otherwise, if it is negotiable, I will negotiate. Something like that. But never give out a figure. Just make that point.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, what should we do if we don't know the answer of any question? We are going for an IT interview. If we don't know the answer of a particular question, if they ask from any technical question.
If you don't know, then you don't know. So remember one thing. If suppose in the interview they ask you 10 questions, out of 10 questions, you answer 6 questions correctly, 4 questions you could not answer, no problem. You will still get the job. But normally what people do, if they fail to answer one question, they'll ruin the entire interview. Uh, they'll just stuck on that question itself. Oh my god, not sure what will happen to my interview now, I have given wrong answer to the question. No problem at all. Forget it. If you gave a wrong answer to the question, if you don't know, just forget about that question. Okay, and move forward. Do not lose your confidence only because of that those 1 2 questions you were not able to answer. Do not lose your focus and your confidence. You will still get the job. Out of 10 questions, if you are able to answer 6 questions correctly, you will still have a chance to get the job, right? Because if you are a fresher, HR will know that you are not 100% because you just passed out. And they are also they also have this in the, sorry.
Okay, guys. So if no one has any question, then we'll stop the session here. So thanks a lot, Ubaid sir, and thanks for
Assalamualaikum,
your.
sir. Sorry for disturbance. Sir,
Do you have?
somebody have put a question in chat box. Please.
No, there is no question actually. It is just a suggestion. Okay. So thanks a lot. Inshallah, next Sunday, same time, we will meet with another professional, and keep joining this session. These are very, very informative sessions, and like professional
Salim, I'm
like
sorry,
Obaid
I'm
Bhai.
back. Actually, I think my laptop just got shut down because of low
Yeah,
battery.
okay.
Yeah. I just joined from my phone.
Yeah.
Any other question? So
No, yeah,
basically,
thanks a lot.
yeah,
Let's end this session, Obaid Bhai. I think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
3 o'clock.
Okay, okay, sure, no problem.
You, you want to say some final words? Please go ahead.
No, that's about it. So I will just complete the last this thing. What was the last question basically that I was answering?
You are answering about which, if we don't know the answer of any question. Hello?
Sorry? Yeah.
Question. What should we answer? We should just keep quiet or say something.
Yes, yes. So do not lose your confidence if you have answered 2-3 questions wrongly. Be confident. You will still get the job. Yeah. That's about it.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
I want to do job in an IT field, but I'm from mechanical background. Hello.
Yes, yes. I'm listening to you. And this will be the final last question. Okay.
I but I am from mechanical background. Then they ask me why you changing the field from mechanical to IT.
Yeah. For that, you basically,
Every time I get this question.
Yes. So what you can say about that is, you will end this question over here by saying that I have changed my mind. Okay. You have to say that I have already taken a decision that I do not want to get into that particular job that is relevant to my education background, because I think I took a wrong decision by getting into that particular field, but now I have changed my mind. Just try to close that question over there. Do not leave anything that might raise multiple questions. Just say that I changed my mind, now I don't want to get into that field. Okay, I have already changed my mind.
Okay, sir.
You got it right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
The reason why HR asks this question is because they think that you might not be stable to this job because you have a different background. So you just close it saying that I have completely changed my mind. I took a wrong decision by getting into that particular field, but I am no more interested in that field. I want to try something else. Okay. So you just close it over there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Nadeem, over to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much all.
Yeah. So guys, we will stop the session here. Okay. So next Sunday we'll meet with another profession. Thanks a lot, Obaid Bhai, for your prestigious time, and Jazakallah to all. Thank you.